Why do children learn languages easier than adults? It's no secret. Children learn languages with an ease that adults envy. Now we're beginning to understand why, again thanks to the new technological tools available. When a child is born, he starts his life with what some experts describe as a flexible brain. This flexibility means that he can learn any language to which he's exposed. Amazingly, the methods involved seem simple enough. He learns by listening or visual coding. Researchers explain it this way. This flexibility, dubbed plasticity by medical science, basically is the motor drive capability of cracking the language code. As the children age and grow into adulthood, this ability fades. It decreases dramatically with age so that by the time they're adults, it's harder, but not impossible, to pick up a new language. In fact, medical science has pinpointed the optimal age for children to learn a second language with no discernible accent, between the ages of 7 and 8. Any older than that, and the ability gradually declines. Not only that, but they discover it more difficult to shed their native accent. This new era in brain research has also unveiled something remarkable about the working of the brain. You actually use different areas of this organ when you speak in your native language or your second language. This eventually may help to explain why it is difficult for some to immerse themselves in their newly adopted language. You use one region of your brain when learning the language. This specific area is tasked with automatically processing words and building phrase structure. This area, though, is activated to a higher degree when you're speaking your native language. True, non-native speakers utilize this area, but in addition to these, they need to call more resources into activation when they are faced with the decoding of a second or foreign language. Another area of the brain works tirelessly to identify the meaning of the words and sentences of the language you're learning. It's no wonder that learning a new language takes some time. We now know that various parts of your brain need to be activated before you can learn the language and store it in your long-term memory. In fact, the optimum scenario is when the brain does this unconsciously. When this happens, you discover how much quicker it is to use the language, not only in its written form, but also verbally. One lesson learned through the revelation of this research becomes evident. The acquisition of a second language, like English, is a conscious process of learning that only succeeds when the student controls the process and reviews his progress regularly. It's clear from the images of the brain that you simply can't hear a new language and pick it up without any effort, far from it. So what exactly is the bottom line here? Learning a second language has to be, without a doubt, a conscious decision made by the student. Once this decision is made, then the processing of the different areas of the brain can be put into use. This fact also explains why learning a language is all-consuming. This also explains then why immersion is the best route to acquiring the new language skills. Similarly, science now shows the learning must be initiated by a decision on the part of the student. This may also explain why learning a language must be based on your motivation to learn it. If it is something foisted on you, the brain can identify the proper decision triggers because they just don't exist. But all of this also explains why it's difficult for a student to actually reach the level of fluency equivalent to a native speaker. Don't think for a moment, however, that learning a new language is a waste of time, because it isn't. You're well aware of many of the benefits of achieving fluency in English, possible job promotion, and exposure to another culture, to name merely two. You can add your own personal benefits to this list. But few people realize how this workout for your brain translates into phenomenal health benefits. Yes, learning a language can actually bolster your health. As you might have expected, those who have learned a second language have at the same time improved their memory.